Kirby? The hell you doing on my TV? What? That doesn't even... whatever. Can you turn me back? What do you mean, no? I can't live the rest of my life like this. What will my people and my friends think? Okay, my brother probably, but seriously, dude, change me back. Ow, what the... How did you even... Wait, you want me to play this? That's it? Okay. I can't exactly play without... Oh, God! Fuck! Well, sorry for the long delay. I've been busy. And seeing that I'm stuck like this until I review the next game, which I was going to do anyway, I might as well get right down to it. Hopefully he stays true to his word, because I can't even reach high stuff like this. First released in March 1993 in Japan and May in the US, Kirby's Adventure was the second ever game to be released in the series. Almost a whole year since the last game, and instead of being another handheld game, HAL Laboratories decided to go straight to the NES with this one. Except, I actually played on the 20th anniversary on the Wii this time around, cause I ain't got no physical copy of this game. Yet. Very late to the NES library, but definitely beneficial for the game production wise. This game looks and sounds great, especially for an NES platformer, but going back to HAL Laboratories for a bit, the company almost went bankrupt and went through quite the financial strain around 92 or 93, depending on what sources will tell you. Another game HAL Labs released called Metal Slayer Glory, a Japanese only game that came out in 1991 for the Famicom Disk System, which was basically a Japanese NES, had such poor sales that it nearly shut them down. Nintendo came to the rescue and promised to help HAL Labs with the condition that Satoru Iwata became its president, and so he did for about 7 years until he later became the president of Nintendo, as mentioned in the last video. According to Masahiro Sakurai himself, even though the Super Nintendo was already a thing, HAL wanted this game to be developed as quickly as possible. But given his very limited time and resources, making the next Kirby game on a new console so soon would not work, so they just went back to the NES. So, Kirby on the NES. Would you believe me if I told you I used to always think that this game was the first in the series? I mean, could you blame me though? I didn't know much about the original Game Boy back then. I thought it was just like Metroid, where the NES was the first game and the Game Boy was the second. So Sakurai is back on the director's chair and was expected to make a console port of Kirby's Dream Land. He instead takes it to another level and makes a game relatively similar to the original, if you ask me, but with more than enough differences to make it another game. How much of a difference? Well, let me tell you. Let's get the obvious part out of the way. Kirby controls about the same as he did in the first game. Can jump, float, suck up enemies, eat enemies, spit them out, gain their power. Wait, what? Yeah, so this is where Kirby gets his iconic copy ability. By pressing down after sucking up certain enemies, you will gain the ability of said enemy. For example, swallowing this enemy will give you the beam item, or this enemy will give you the cutter ability, my personal favorite, or this enemy will give you a scream. Over 40 abilities were concepted, but only 25 were programmed into the game. The copy ability really is the bread and butter of this game, gaining different abilities to traverse through different levels and make it into the end. Although nothing's stopping you from just spitting enemies out and play just like the first game. But where's the fun in that? God has given me the chance to be a living flamethrower, and you best believe I'm a relish the opportunity. So stepping aside from mass genocide for a minute, let's actually get to that plot. But first, it's time to smack Kirby in the face. Oh, damn it! The story goes a little something like this. Kirby's out having a snooze fest, but something's not right. He's not having any dreams while in Dreamland. If that isn't irony, I don't know what is. Existing somewhere is the Fountain of Dreams, or the Dream Springs, however you want to call it, which gives out dreams to all the sleepy inhabitants of Dreamland. The fountain itself was created by the magical Star Rod. Kirby pays a visit to the fountains only to find King Dedede there swimming in the waters, that sick fuck. He tells Kirby that he's broken the Star Rod into 7 pieces and given it to his associates. So Kirby goes out to get those pieces back and restore it. You know, I'm glad nobody's having dreams while this is happening. Could you imagine what kind of dreams people would have while they're swimming in all that water? Kirby's Adventure has you travel to a total of 8 worlds: Vegetable Valley, Ice Cream Island, Butter Bridge, Grape Garden, Yogurt Yard, Orange Ocean, Rainbow Resort, and then finally the Fountain of Dreams. Playing through the game definitely feels like a console version of the first game. More stretched out levels and worlds to traverse through, and with added gameplay mechanics which really test your playing skills. But it's just a Kirby game, some of you are probably saying to yourselves. And to that I say, sit down, shut up and listen! Dad is talking. The first couple of worlds are pretty much a breeze. Just make your way to the end and sometimes fight a boss at the end. Some bosses even make a reappearance from the first game, like Wispy Woods, Poppy Rose Sr., and DDD of course. And who can forget, this was the introduction to the famous and Smash Bros. Brawl's most broken character, Meta Knight. But more mid-bosses and big bosses have come to stop Kirby on his quest for food and justice. Now remember I said there was 8 worlds and the first few were easy. Well, really the whole game can range from pretty easy to challenging as fuck when trying to 100% it. Yes, you heard me, this game has a completion percentage. Now what does that exactly mean? Worlds 3, 5, 6, and 7 will have separate routes with switches in them, which can open up bonus levels or extra minigames to earn more lives. Now going about these routes can range from just out to a door on the side, needing a specific power to get to said door, or making it completely invisible. I won't stress too much on these, but just know that your playtime will probably double for first timers if you're going for 100%. Some of the things they're expecting you to do, I don't feel an average player would know without looking up a guide. And for what I played, this will become as much of a mainstay as Kirby's copy ability, though it does get easier. I hope. So let's say you've beaten all the other worlds with or without doing everything. At the end of World 7, Kirby, with the recovered Star Rod pieces, returns to the Fountain of Dreams only for DDD to be there ready to fight you. He fights pretty much the same as he did as the first game, but I don't know if it's just me or some sort of input lag with the game, but I died way too many times to him that I should have. And since I didn't have any copy abilities to fight him off with, I had to wait and rely on the stars to pop up when he does his hop move. But after hitting him enough times, he should fry him up! I do love how the next world begins with Kirby just making his way to the fountain and DDD jumps at him and begs him not to put the Star Rod in. Like, look at him. He's terrified. But Kirby ain't no fool. Get me! Except when he does put the Star Rod back, here comes sudden darkness! Meet Nightmare, a living entity whose sole purpose is to spread dark nightmares to every living thing, and is the reason that nobody was having dreams in Dreamland. So DDD himself was actually stopping Nightmare from spreading havoc by breaking the Star Rod. However, Kirby unknowingly summoned Nightmare in the already tainted fountain to resume its dirty deeds. Aw, see, he's not such a bad guy after all. Now, if you could just stop stealing people's food and no! Kirby then takes the Star Rod and with the sudden help of DDD, launches into action to stop Nightmare once and for all and bring peace to all of Dreamland. Now, I don't know what it is with me and this boss, or all boss fights especially towards the last 3 worlds, but check this. I was getting a ton of lives. Hell, I was up in the 20s while I was playing, and regrettably, over time, I started to lose a lot of them. Mainly because I was trying to 100% the game and these damn bosses. I had this many lives when I got to DDD, and this is how much I had when I finally beat him. Same number of lives when I got to Nightmare, and this is how much I had when I actually beat him. No joke. It took till I had no lives till I beat the damn game. All of them. Not a single game over, but fuck, that was exhausting. Now with Nightmare defeated, Kirby once again returns the Star Rod to his rightful place, but not before waving away to DDD. Peace is once again restored to Dreamland, and everyone can dream as they sleep. As an added bonus for completing the GameCube. Ah, shit, I missed one. Oh, give me a second. There we go, finally. Getting 100% will unlock hard mode as a sort of new game plus. If you think the game wasn't hard enough and needed a more of a challenge, go for it. I dealt with enough shit just for completing it, so I consider this game done. And that's, my friends, is Kirby's Adventure. Truth be told, this is my first time actually beating this game, not to mention having a legit copy of the game without using some sort of emulator, and only play up to the second world. For Kirby's second adventure, it's a solid one. I do not recommend trying to complete this for the first timers unless you're using a guide like I did, or if you just knew where they were on the first go. And to that I say, that's impossible. So on the next tail end review, we're going back to the Game Boy with Kirby's Dream Land 2. I've just recently got this game, but I haven't beaten it yet, but now I don't have an excuse. Okay, there, I'm done with the review. Can you turn me back now? Anyways, I'll see you guys next week. And remember, stay awesome, stay beautiful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.